Hi everybody, Adam from Atlas Gunworks. We're going to talk about feeding the gun a little bit and bullet types. So, had some text messages with a customer who was having feeding problems this weekend, and he's running, a coated bullet. I think these are blue bullets. He had black bullets, whatever. But these coated bullets are not smooth, okay? And so he's been running them and had no problems, and he was running 1170. And then he switches to 1160. So think about it like this. So the gun, and then the gun started having some hiccups. So there's a whole bunch of things going on here. One, how high does your magazine sit in the gun? So every gun and every grip and every mag catch are just a little bit different. So if your magazine sits lower in the gun, so the bullets are, see the tip of that bullet here is pointed at the middle or bottom of the ramp, then you need to open the front two feed lips. When I say feed lips, it's this spot and this spot need to be a little wider. If your gun sits high in the and I'm exaggerating here, but if it sits high, that's not going to work well. Okay, it's going to hit the top here. So then these need to be a little smaller. So the specs here on a 40 cal start at 3.380. And the highest you can probably go is 390, 395. Okay? And then remember that we want the back right here, the spot that's catching the back of the bullet, to be a little bit less so that it points up. If the front is at I'm making up numbers, but if the front's at 370 and the back's at 385, the bullet's going to sit more flat like this. Right? So when the bullets tip down like that, it's going to hit the ramp. Well, the ramp is insurance. We want the bullets to hit pretty close to underneath the chamber here. So when they're hitting the bottom of the ramp or the middle of the ramp, and then if you look at our barrel here, here you go. If the bullet hits anywhere down in here, these little edges are going to catch it and stop it. So that doesn't work. The bullet's got to be hitting here minimum. That's your safety spot. So the center of the bullet here to keep the edges away from this thing. A lot of times if you see single stack guns, we have to take these edges off because the bullets do point lower, and that's the way you got to make them run. Now at the same time, this ramp angle matters. So in guns like ours, if you just put a gun together, buy an STI gun, you get whatever ramp angle the barrel was built with. You get our gun and we change that angle to lighten it a little bit. And then relief cuts in this area will make a difference too. So some of the gun makers do that, some of them don't, but that's all insurance. If you chamfer all these edges, that will give you a better chance if the bullet hits one of not stopping. So basically, the slide's got to pick this bullet up. When it does, get back in focus here. When the slide picks this bullet up, it's going to dip a little bit. So you need them pointed right. I like them pointed right at the tube here, right at the hole. And then it's going to come down and boom, and then we go in, right? So this is a short bullet with a coated lead bullet in it, and this is a long jacketed bullet. And I mean, if pretty much the same relationship, just a couple of 10 thou here, or at some point you'll hit a line where the 10,000 makes a difference. So our client's gun was working at 170, which is too short, and he went down to 160 and the gun didn't feed well. Well, what you're doing is, when that gets picked up, you're giving that, now that the bullet gets picked up by the slide and it dips just a tad, that little bit shorter lets it dip a little longer, hits the feed ramp lower, and it's not like he was choking on everyone, but 1 in 100 or whatever the number was. So if you're going to use these bullets, the coated bullets are fine for practice. Well, I'm sure the coated bullet makers don't want me to say this, but they're like on 40 cal, they're like just under 10 cents a piece. Well, jacketed bullets are like 12. So if you're going to go to a match and you want to win and you don't want your gun to hiccup, pay the 2 cents per bullet you're going to shoot at a match. The $2 it's going to cost you to shoot a 100-round match, and shoot a jacketed bullet. So that's number one. I shoot lots of these in practice. I shoot lots of these to test guns, but I wouldn't ever go to a match with one of these in there. And this is a test bullet. It's been in and out of guns a lot. But you can just see, when this hits something sharp, that coating starts to peel up a little bit, And then that takes the momentum away and takes it away. That jacket's been in and out of just as many, gut things as a test bullet here. And it doesn't have any gouges in it because it's harder. So when something harder hits an edge, it rolls over better. So run jacketed bullets at matches, run this stuff at practice. At the same time, right now, we're in a weird spot. These bullets cost the same pretty much as a cheaper plated bullet. So, run what you want, but these don't feed as well as a plated bullet, and a plated bullet doesn't feed as well as a jacketed bullet. So, you care about winning matches, shoot jacketed bullets. This platform, the 2011 platform, was not designed to run on 40 Smith & Wesson and 9mm length bullets. So the SAAMI spec for those is 1135, and the reason we all load long is to try to get back to what this magazine was designed to run, which is 45 and 38 super. So the 2011 platform is off the 1911 platform, which was designed for longer bullets. So anytime you give the bullet a starting point further back from where it needs to go, there's more chance that trouble happens. We want that as close to there as we can get it. That's why the 38 super guns feed so good. It's a nice long bullet that everything's close. Once you get it pointed in the right direction, there's less variance. Now, as you drop mags on the ground, these feed lips bend up. So I'm going to tune these for somebody I tuned these years ago, but now they've hit the ground so many times, and you can almost see that they're all wavered up and messed up, and then they'll get... Let me refocus on here. Alright guys, we're back. So just to talk a little bit about how the mags work in this whole system, the bullets have to slide out this direction. So we always want the feed lips. When I say feed lips, we're just talking about from this part to this part. That part that contacts the bullet here and here. So we always want it to be just a tad bit wider here than here for almost every gun. The reason for that is it keeps the bullet pointed up a little bit. If the front, a lot of times you'll get mags brand new, and here and here, let's say that on a 40 cal, this is like 370 and it's 385 back here. When it pinches right here, the bullets tip down, and then they're headed lower on the feed ramp. So we're really we're adjusting here where the bullet's going to hit the feed ramp or the barrel, where in relationship to the chamber. So this part should always be 5 thou wider than the back part, in a perfect world. If your mags sit really high in the gun, you might need to pinch this in a little bit, or bring all the numbers in so that the bullets tip down. It's super rare. Almost no one's going to run into that. But that's what we're looking for. So this to be a little wider than the back here, and I'll put up the numbers. There's a range. I'll put up the range. And the more your mag sits low in the gun, the bigger you're going to have to open these up to compensate for that. And then the other thing you want to look at, these are actually just my dry fire mags, but these little ribs can get wavy, so you can have them so they're not straight. So you want these to be as straight as you can, your feed libs, and then they will get burrs on them on occasion, little burrs in here. So we just use, the Dawson kit comes with one file, we use 3, but you just take a little file and get those burrs off, because the easier that these slide out of the bullet slides out of here, the better it's going to feed, the lower the recoil spring you can run, in theory, the flatter you can get your gun to shoot. So having the mag work with the system is super important. The only other thing to really watch on these is you want pretty close, maybe a half a business card clearance right here. So this can't be touching this, or it's going to cause feeding problems. So you gotta, on every mag, you're going to be a little different, but you need that to have just enough clearance so the bullets aren't impeded. Those get bent. This part gets bent quite often too, so watch that. Hope that was helpful.